Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Factorio in our 0 to MEGABASE playthrough. In today's episode we will be doing all the standard science packs, that means everything we can see here, and the only thing that will be missing is the white science packs that we get from the rockets. I basically have everything ready except the ingredients for the production science packs, which are rails, electric furnaces and productivity modules. I decided this here is going to be the spot for the rails. I also decided this is going to be the dedicated spot for the crude oil. So in the future, I don't want the crude oil stations all over the place. I would like to bring most of the oil into one station. And that station is going to be right here. This is going to be my dedicated station. At the moment, you can see we get barely any oil in here, even though we do have plenty of pump jacks around. But you know, after the initial drain, getting more oil is actually a slow process. Instead of having low productivity stations all over the place, I'm gonna pump all the oil into one station so these tanks always fill quickly and serve the trains. I set up a secondary station. This one here is going to be for picking up the rails, and let's now build this thing. We require iron sticks, stones and steel plates. I decided to make the iron sticks right here because we don't need a lot of space for this contraption anyways. So let's think about this briefly. I already calculated the necessary amount of machines and modules we require, and that is actually 2 machines with 7 beacons. The machine is going to produce iron sticks, and obviously we want this to be filled up with productivity modules. Do we though? No, actually we don't need that. We're gonna go with power saving measurements, so efficiency modules. We're then gonna have the beacons filled up with speed modules as usual. We should be able, come on, copy this, then flip it around, add it on the other side as well. Now both of these machines are affected by 7 beacons each, and they're gonna produce exactly the amount of pipes we need. We wanna get some raw iron in here, so let's try to combine this. Best we split it up here. One line goes over there and the other one over yonder. I already prepared the unloading station. As you can see, 1 line with iron, 1 line with steel and 2 lines with stone, just because stone usually takes a little bit longer and I don't have many gathering sites just yet. Now I think for this one I'm just gonna use underground belts and we're gonna bring this up. Now actually I would like to see this somewhere else. Give me that back please, and we also want to cut this out and bring it over here. Yeah, and now we can hook it up like so. Ah, wonderful. Depending on the speed of the machine, we're gonna need either 1 or 2 stack inserters. We'll see once we actually hook this up to power. Could we do that? Yeah, let me do this like so. Now at this point I would like to combine the steel together with the pipes. Should be good enough. I believe the pipes will require half a belt, and so will the steel. I'm gonna pull the pipes out like so, and then we wanna swiftly go back in order to combine the materials. So this comes all the way down here. We're also gonna bring over the other materials, and I'm gonna combine the stone because we don't really need more of it. 1 belt is gonna do. Now steel is gonna come up like so, and somewhere here I would like to see it combined with the pipes. So first of all we're gonna bring this over here, combine the pipes on 1 belt. We bring the steel all the way here, and then let's see, we need to hop over at this point. Yeah, that's probably good. If we do something like that, we could go ahead, combine that like so and so. And then last but not least, we're gonna require the stone like that. Ah, this is great. So now we actually need a similar setup. Let me see. I can't do that. If I do that, I'm gonna overproduce. So I'm just gonna keep it further away, even though that might be a little bit of a waste of beacons. Yeah, let's just keep it here. I mean, this is gonna be the entirety of the construction anyways, except that we don't want to make pipes here. We want to make the rails. It's getting a little bit dark. Also reminds me to set up lights. Now let's see. We need to split the lines up. 1 line is gonna continue, the other needs to switch over. How do I do that? We could move 1 line over here and the other one over like so. Why not? Stone will then hop over like so and finally be brought to the machine. Same thing here on the other side with the steel and the sticks. Some handy dandy inserters and also inserters to get the rails out of there. Now, I think my biggest problem is the iron. I might not have enough of it. Maybe I should have doubled up on the iron instead of the stone. This is not good. Yeah, this is truly a problem. I will have to fix this at some point. But for now, let's just get this running. So we're gonna combine the two lines here. And then we move up, move across here. Now, let's see. We do that, move over. Actually, at some point, we should set up a balancer, probably here. So do that. Bring this up to the balancer and the items should be distributed niftily. And just like that, we should be golden. This is going over here. This one will be going to the next set of chests. One going in here and one going... It's not very beautiful, but it's gonna do the trick. Nice, rails are done. What else do we have to do? I already forgot again. The electric furnace as well as the productivity module. Electric furnace, what do you require? Steel plate, advanced circuits, stone bricks, everything we have access to. And the productivity module is also easy, electronic circuits and advanced circuits. Great, that means I'm going to skip this next part. I might also just go ahead and actually fix what I messed up here. We can produce a bunch more rails. Actually, looking at this, I might have calculated this wrong. How is this not continuing? Ah, okay, I see. The stack inserters are not fast enough at this point. That means we're gonna add more stack inserters here. Probably not for the stone though. And we cannot even output the rails quick enough at this point. Oh man, that's intriguing. So let's move this over. And we have to extract even more rails somehow. This goes up here, this goes up there. Yeah, we might have to set up a secondary line. That's weird. In the calculation, it doesn't really fill up an entire thing. Looks like we can actually keep up. Yeah, now there are no interruptions anymore. Look at the speed. This is insane. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but we might just produce enough. Let's check this out. In the last minute, we produced 2,500 rails. For one productivity module, we need 30 rails. So yeah, we do need a lot of rails. Let's just keep it like that. I'm gonna be right back once I made the other two materials for the science packs, and then we built two machines for the science packs themselves. Alright guys, we are back and we've made a substantial progress. Everything is going quite smoothly. I'm now fixing the power issues, so my robots are at work. I now also started to fill up everything with solar panel arrays where the ratio is more or less perfect. So if we check this out, for instance, we try to achieve a more or less perfect ratio for each in or output. Obviously, sometimes we are restricted with in and outputs. Let's check this guy out here. This is not quite a perfect ratio. You can see we're using more than 2 belts of copper plates. We just want to keep things balanced whenever it is at all convenient. Alright, now for the last part here, we need to build the science packs. Let's do the first one here, production science pack. We need rails, electric furnaces and productivity modules. So let's go ahead, build a unloading station first of all. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. And on the top, of course, a loading station. We can already define the loading station. It's gonna be load the production science pack. You know, after building this beacon setup so many times, I think it is time to just make a blueprint. In the center, assembling machine, we need to power this up to measure the materials. This is gonna produce production science packs. We most likely want to use productivity modules inside of that. Let's see how much this is producing. So it is using 11 rails. We can have a maximum of 2 belts of rails, which would be 90 items per second. So if we get this to use up 10 rails instead of 11, then we can just multiply it by 9. In order to achieve that, we would have to take out some speed modules and maybe, or can we? No, we cannot input productivity. Efficiency it will have to be. Looks like putting an efficiency module into 3 of the beacons will result in a good value. We're gonna need a dedicated belt here for the rails. And then we're gonna share 1 belt for the other materials. The rails are probably gonna require 1 or 2 stack inserters since we need so many of them, and then just 1 stack inserter, to be honest, probably a fast inserter is gonna do. How many do we need of the other materials? Yeah, just 1. So fast inserters ought to do the trick. Some lights, and then we need to get those materials out of there. Okay, now let's copy this over, but I need to make sure I replace the modules, because now the second one will have a different production rate. Yeah, it's now minus 9.6. That is not good. So let's exchange that with the speed one again, and we should be back to minus 10. Gonna grab this entire thing and put it smack here in the center, so we should have enough space to build it 9 times. And to get the right pattern with the beacons, I just have to copy it over as a set of 2. Okay, admittedly, it is a close call. I barely have any space left, but having just one assembly line is going to make it easier. We want the first 2 stations to be reserved for rails. Let's set this up. I don't think I have another station for rails just yet. Yes, there we go. And as we can see, there are no trains set up for this just yet, so we can do that. Program one of you to load up rails and to unload them again. I now only set the inactivity condition to the unloading station. They can load up until they are full, but unload only when there's something to unload. Gonna copy this over, and then if we can, I want to give this some fuel, like so, and you can move on. Good luck, guys! Oh, actually, I also need to copy the station over. Yeah. Next station is gonna be responsible for the furnaces. Crazy that I transport furnaces via train. We also need to set up trains for this one. Let me just quickly arrange that. And off you go, the furnace trains are also finished and ready to go. Last but not least, we have productivity module 1. Also for that, I do not have any trains. Looks like I forgot to make the station for that. Let me see, where are we crafting that? Productivity module, so probably, yeah, haven't named this station yet. And just like that, all the trains are done, ready to go. We even just received our first load of rails. Okay, now this is how this is gonna go. The furnaces also arrived. I'm gonna move this guy over like so we can easily connect it and get the first rails going. And they are obviously gonna be used up because we need 2 full belts of rails. However, we have this other belt ready that we're gonna drag alongside the contraption, and when the rails run out, we're gonna replace them. Actually, it doesn't have to be outside of the contraption. Yeah, let's get rid of that again. We just move over like so. We could even be so sneaky and start combining the 2 lines. Yes, this is great. We can do this at every station and things are gonna become much easier. Okay, let's check out the ratios one more time. We are at 90, that is good, and very few items for the other ones, so we can put them on one single belt. We can already do this right here. Why the heck not? Wonderful. And that should be all the materials necessary to get crafting. Yes. You know what? We can remove these guys, make them normal inserters to maybe save on power. We then bring everything to a balancer, just like that. And we're now producing another science pack. And this procedure should be using up our entire belt here. We can see this is working fabulously so far. Alrighty, slowly but surely, I believe I have sorted out my power issues. My robots are busy at work. Now let's see, I finalized the design here with a bunch of solar panels and then decided to build the other science pack all the way up here. And this is the contraption for it. If we check out the ratios here, I decided to go with 2 belts of low density structures, and then we have filled up an entire belt of processing units, so this is the maximum we can get from one contraption. Wherever we need more science packs, obviously we just have to build more modules. But right here we are actually ready to launch this. I have 2 low density structures, the processing units and the flying robot frames on the top. I made this nifty symmetrical 8-way splitter. After that it is pretty much chaos. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get this started. Bring this together and distribute this hopefully all correctly and the machine can get working. Oh no, check this out. The inserters are actually not fast enough. They cannot keep up. Let's see, can I just upgrade the inserters? Yeah, look at that. Okay, if we do that, we should be golden. Upgrade all of these. Okay, yeah, after that, this should work out. It was just not fast enough for the belts. At least not the underground belt. So yeah, admittedly this was a little bit anticlimactic. What you gonna do? At least now we have access to all the science packs. And we can already see the machines are working, bringing the items all the way forward. Actually, we should already have them on the top here. As usual, we want to wrap things up with a balancer and then probably just combine two outputs into one. So something like that with a splitter, and then we can bring them forward. Actually, how many are we producing? Yeah, we're producing over 95 per second. This is actually not too shabby. In this case, I actually want to make sure we fill up entire belts, for instance like this. Yeah, that should be working out nicely. And just like that, we are filling up the station. No. Oh, I love it. It looks great. Wow, look at that. 4.6 thousand per minute. This is nice. We probably cannot keep up with the materials, but we will not have to build a second one of these modules anytime soon. Beautiful. We are done with all the science packs. This is almost a dream come true. What is the next step? Obviously, we want to do the rocketry stuff to get the last science pack. In order to do that, we want to have a site with rocket silos, and then we also need to build satellites. We already have 4 of these ingredients available. We only need rocket fuel and radars. The radars should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, we can have one building site for that. However, to produce the rocket fuel, we're going to need solid fuel as well as light oil. Could we use our current site for that? I don't think so. Yeah, we're still lacking the power, but I believe some more solar panels are about to be built. Actually, they are almost all done. Well, that is not extremely good. However, we can build more and more. So I think we're definitely going to do that in the next episode with the rocket launches, but I want to prepare a few things. For instance, we can still do the radars today. And then one of my next step is going to be to tap into way more resources. We're going to need to tap into several stone deposits, get all the ores we can easily have access to, tap into more crude oil spots, and then bring everything to one single crude oil station. That station is most likely going to be this one here, since I have already everything set up. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I also want to make sure I can fuel this up. I'm a little bit afraid to use the light oil from this production unit. This is mostly just to produce the petroleum, and it is already slow enough. So having more efficiency with the oil, I think is going to be very important, because these tanks are always almost empty. And then once that is done, I'm gonna build another site in order to produce the rocket fuel. And then we have everything ready to do the rockets. And then we have everything ready to do the satellites. Let's check out one more thing. I have my rocket silo here. I can actually not access it. I want to know what materials I need for that. And here we are. Let's check it out. A rocket control unit. We already have the density structures and then more rocket fuel. So another station for the control units, which require processing units and speed modules. Jeez. Okay, gave myself a little bit of an overview. We need to have a module for speed module 1, then a solid fuel guy, light oil guy, rocket fuel guy, radar guy, and stations for the solar panels and the capacitors. So I'm already mass producing solar panels and capacitors here. I just don't have the loading stations just yet. What is this? This is loading the coal, apparently. But yeah, you can see still plenty to do for the next episode, and that is of course also a good thing. What I'm gonna attempt to do in between the episode is, as mentioned, tap into more resources. I want to get everything available. Maybe I'm even gonna tear some things apart, maybe just, get rid of some of these solar panels in order to tap into the copper ore. I just want to make sure that I'm using all the resources that are nearby. I mean, look at this huge copper ore vein. Have to get that. Also have to get this 10 million iron ore vein. Then I'm also going to combine all the oil. There's just going to be one loading station, and this is also the place where these trains will receive their fuel. And then we have to do everything I just mentioned. But yeah, I would say with that out of the way, we are ready to wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.